Hello and welcome back to the channel, and today's video is an exploring one. We're back with exploring in 2023, but we're going to explore multiple places in one area, just like a little bit of the Glastonbury video. But today we are going to Caerleon, which is very famous for its Roman history. I will be exploring that. I'll be exploring the Roman fortress, the Amphitheater, the bathhouse, the Legion Museum and the Barracks. There's a lot to cover in this video. That's why it's still a bit dark outside. It's really early in the morning, so I'm setting off early to get it done. And I think we should just get into it then. Let's start the journey together.
The Roman Empire were ruthless and it was spreading its empire across Europe, Africa and the Middle East. Britain was his next target and it was annexed in 43 AD by Emperor Claudius. The Romans invaded Wales and set up many forts across Wales, such as Caerleon and most famously Caerleon. Caerleon was seen by Julius Fontus as the perfect place to settle the Legion II of Augusta, which was a branch of the Roman army.
Here we are, I'm in Newport now, so I'm halfway to Caerleon. It is raining, which is brilliant to start the video with, but let's get to my bus and just get out here. Well, the weather's now holed up and I'm in Caerleon, or Isca Augusta, the Romans would call it. It's named after the second Augusta Legion, and obviously Isca is the Italian word for river. So now, first place we are going to go to is the Amphitheater, of the four places in Caerleon. So let's make a start. We're going to cross this narrow road. Here we go. This is the Roman Amphitheater here in Caerleon, literally behind those bushes. Let's just get into it. This is Caerleon's Roman Amphitheater, or Isca's Amphitheater, as we would like to call it. This is the most preserved one in Britain, so we're going to go down and have a look. This is actually quite famous worldwide, this amphitheater. Obviously amphitheaters is the reason why like modern stadiums are the thing, because the shape on, as you can tell by here. Look right, this is where the fights would happen. Obviously it's not exactly Rome Colosseum, but it's still okay. Here we are approaching it. As you can see, there's my way down. It is very muddy, and you just use the steps, bugger it. But it's larger than I thought it was going to be. On things, it just looks really tiny. Steps on the way down. Here we are. There's one end, the entrances I'm not going to go down in, because look at that, that's road. But what is this by here then? Let's have a look at this first. A storage pit maybe? I don't know, but that is quite cool to look at. That's some tidy steps by here, all the way down, and a little gangway, so let's walk down here. God help me in these boots. Oh jeez. It's like little blocks where you can enter like the seat in, like you see in football stadiums by here. Here we are. We are now inside the amphitheater. This is where gladiators would have fought, prisoners of war would have fought, anything to entertain the Roman settlers or the collaborating tribes here. See, it is a pretty much well preserved, looked after very well. You see where the grass bankings is where the seating is. I'll obviously show you in a bit on the other camera, but let's just have a little wander around by here. So by here is something fenced off. I'm just gonna have a look where it might be just fenced off for a reason. It's drainage. Okay, we won't bother with that. But you can see these high walls. What the kind of people say from all the swords, all the stuff getting thrown around, and then where the grass meets by here, looks like where the seating is you can see on that mound over there, more is where it shapes up into more like a terrace-like sort of thing, by blocks and steps. There's entrances by here into the amphitheater. But one thing I am going to show you has quite piqued my interest. It could be nothing, it'll just be gaps in the brickwork. These little holes is where the prisoners used to be kept, because they used to build underground. The Romans did. One of the first to do underground mining and building. Again, there's another hole in the wall, but I'm going to go back up to the banker now and go pretty much on top of the amphitheater if I can, just to have a look what's there. And my god, look at that. This is what the view would be in one of these amphitheaters. This is what I mean, you don't realise how big this thing actually is, and when you look at it on picture, it does look quite small. So this is where, just imagine you are a Roman settler, colonizer. You're just here watching a couple of slaves fight in this pit in the middle. It'll be like a cauldron in here, people cheering for death. And as you can see, a lot of European sports stadiums are in this shape, like a bowl shape. I think the prime example is a couple in Italy. I think Napoli Stadium's like a bowl shape. The Stadio Diego Maradona is like that. Tottenham Stadium is very much in a bowl shape. This is where clear inspiration comes from. Yeah, as you can see, this does seem like it would have been a cauldron. The high walls as well would have protected the people. But this ain't like the only thing here, because like if you watch the Penalta Part 2 exploring video I done at Penalta Colliery, I started in the Caerleon Roman fort, which is just basically mounds of grass that's covering all the remaining walls. But in here in Caerleon, there is very much so here. Everything is just like prided on. So before we go, we're gonna have a look at that little gangway into the seating area on the side I came in, and then I'll decide where we go next. So let's have another quick look. So this is a block, they call them in sports stadiums. This is where you would enter to your seats. Let's have a look. It's quite similar vibe, because in the sports stadium this would be a pitch by here, and then you go up your gangway to your seat, and the view just from by here is pretty decent as well, not gonna lie. Romans are innovating. But if you notice by here, I'm going to zoom, some steps remain to the seating areas. So yeah, pretty well preserved. I really haven't told you why the Romans settled here. So while I go over to the next location here in Caerleon, here's the history of the Roman Caerleon now. Not Roman Britain, Roman Caerleon.
Isca Augusta was built in 75 AD. It contained a large playing card shaped fort, hospitals, roads, bathhouses and a large amphitheater, which is the most preserved in Britain. The name Isca comes from the Latin word for water. This refers to the nearby River Usk running through the village.
Behind me is the National Museum of Wales's Roman Legions Museum. Obviously this is part of the free museum scheme, which you can go to the National Museum in Cardiff, St Fagans, the Big Pit, etc. Swansea Harbour. So this is a Roman Legion museum. This is going to have many artefacts. If you are interested in coming here, it is free. Same as the Amphitheater and the Barracks. But they are run by Cadu, which one runs another one we're going to very shortly. So let's have a look at this. Here we are, looks like we've got a bit of
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's happened in 2020, so I just wondered, like, because I've sort of read up a little bit about it, makes sense.
If you really want to have a look at what Rome's reach in the height of the Roman Empire, here we go. So that'll be Isca, where we are now in Britannia, and then you'll have, what's it called, Londinium. There are 2 legionary forts in Scotland, but that's Hadrian's Wall. You go down to here, Gala, which is France, or Wall, people like to call it. And then you've got a bit of the German by here, that's the Rhine running through, Germania, and it's Hispania, Spain. Around by here is the Horn of Africa, start of Africa. Round by here I think would be the Punic area, Macedonia, Greece, a bit of Asia, and then it's Italy itself. It's pottery found around Isca. See by here is beakers, rough cast beakers, cheese press. Even the Romans love cheese. And then even by here is decorative objects. Like there's beads, there's ox head mounts. Looks like something from a plate. There's Mercury. Bronze streel. It's this little artefact by on this map of Wales. There we are. Near I am in the Caerleon County Borough in Caerleon. That's where I live. That has a Roman fort. There's a couple of things by here. This is Valerius Martinellus. This is a legionary soldier of the late 1st century AD. And then that's where you see is a stereotypical Roman uniform, like recreated. But by here, there's an Iron Legionary helmet, you can see. And many other artefacts which would be found in a uniform, spearheads by there. And some of the plating they used to wear, bronze plating. A bow and arrow. But then there's a couple of things by here. That's the legionary kilns, which I don't really understand what they do by here. There's bits from axes by here and masonry tools. So this would have been the way they would forge their weapons. Depends, there's all these little gadgets. And more pottery, which the Romans were quite into their pottery. These are one of the things they discovered, that the Romans were here in Caerleon the same way as Caerleon. Coins. Minted coins. First of its kind. So we're just going to come over here. It's more of these like wall stuff. That's quite cool because that's been recreated where it should have looked like. But it's all up the wall by here. This is quite nice, little flooring. Some pottery again. But yeah, just have a look by here, which is, seems to be more pottery. There's more stones by here. That's what a Roman grave would have looked like. A nice stone grave. They did say it was this garden bit on reception here, just to let you know. It's probably like to imitate what a Roman garden would look like, if I can imagine. I have my lunch by here maybe now. But let's have a look what this is. It's Roman medicines. So beetroot, Roman writer Pliny said that liquid made from beetroot could remove stains from clothes, also used in salad. One Roman recipe cooks salad lento with beans. I think beetroot will cause a lot more stains. Let's pick something we know. Lemon balm. Roman writers understood that this plant attracts bees and it was good for a healthy garden. It was also an excellent medicine used to make energy drinks as well as treat cold sores and scorpion stings and insect bites. Partly true, I would say. Let's have a little bit of a exploration down here. Well, I think, yeah, this does look like what a Roman garden you can imagine it like, even down to that building, but there. Couple like there's something else by here, and it has got a little bit of a thing. This is a Roman garden. This is just an ornament. That by here is just an ornament. Romans, eh? So yeah, that is the Roman Legion Museum. That was pretty interesting seeing this museum. We've got two more places to go to now, which is the bathhouse and the fortress, and then I believe we'll end on the barracks. So let's go and look for the bathhouse then. In this building behind me is what's left of the Roman fort and baths. So it doesn't look big, but it's worth seeing what's in there. It's not a bad entry fee, it's only a £5 to get in. Let's see if it's worth it, which is not really about that, you know that. Right, you're looking down here is the Roman baths. This is where they would swim, almost like a swimming pool, and also almost have a bath. See, there's a bit more diggings down there. If you look straight ahead, where I put the zoom in. So what does that say? I missed that because it's in Welsh. But you can see there's like a Roman having swimming, the simulation. But yeah, the town of, or the city of Bath in Somerset is actually named after the large deposit of Roman baths that was discovered there. But yeah. The pool was bigger than life. But then we're going to go over here, because that should be a little model of it all. And that's what the Romans would have used. I would say that's the fortress there at the back. There's the baths in the middle, which they would clean and go swimming. And that's like a little, you know, play area. So it should sit right here. That's the courtyard. Almost like a school. We'll go by it and have a look at the Roman bust as well. So yeah, this is where they used to bath, and around the other side of me is going to be the actual fort. So we're going to have a look at that next. But I think these are communal baths together. They used to swim in these baths as well as clean. Cleanliness is a big thing, but just imagine how dirty it was. And another fun fact about Romans, they used to wipe their poo with the same stick when they go to the toilet. Talk about communal loos. On the walls there are a couple of artifacts like their pendants and aprons. Here is Roman sandals. Hairpins. More sandals, and that's a wooden sandal. Really wouldn't want to wear them. The bath shoes, a sponge, and something to put a carry shampoo in. And by here, it is what's left of the fortress. So now we're going to walk down that pathway and have a look at it. Right, now we're going to go over and look at this fort. This is where they would live, whoever was in charge. Little entrances and openings down here. Really well preserved underground it was. Yeah. Probably like water junctions. There's a floral wreath from the bathhole. You just come by here now. I'm about to make a Roman on there, but we'll go ahead. It's very hard making up what's what. Come down to you, so we'll have a look a bit over here. Go. It looks like a little. There's got to be. Oh, there's a face on there. Actually, you can see there's a face on there. So that's probably some wall decoration. Something was made up. This is probably one of the best preserved parts. Right here, and then we keep going on down. This is Isca. Well, that's a drain. There's a basin. A mosaic over there. Yeah, this is the fort here in Caerleon. This is where the Roman leaders would have lived. They would have been stationed for battle. This is the barracks is down the road, but we will get to that very, very shortly. Well, right in front of me by is lead water pipes, and it's believed that the Romans went a bit crazy over the lead poisoning from the water pipes, which might have caused them to have these many like heinous acts that they have done. So sucks to be them. So we got one more to go to now, and that is the barracks, and that's the end of it all. But while we head there, I'm gonna just tell you a little bit about the fall of Roman Britain.
Roman rule in Wales was declining towards the end of the 4th century. After Rome went to war with the barbarians. In 383 it was decided that Magnus Maximus withdrew his troops from Wales, which left Isca abandoned. It was believed that Magnus Maximus moved his troops from Caerleon to Kent, but then over time they would leave the country, putting Britain and Wales in the Dark Ages.
Here we are, and finally this is what's left of the Roman barracks here in Caerleon. This is where the 2nd Legionary of Augusta was stationed to, all the troops from that. See where like little rooms were placed if you step into one of them. This is where the Roman legions would have eat, sleep and possibly prayed to their god in here. Let's have a little look down here now. Couple of there's a couple of old walls there facing where the school is. I got a feeling that these by here seem like what the rooms would be where they would have slept. Just have that feeling that this is where the Romans would have been sleeping. There's a couple more by here as well. These ones seem a little bit bigger, different shaped, but again you can see like different rooms by here, overlooking a very strategic point, a hill over there. Obviously building these fortresses, this in Caerleon, is to keep the local tribes in date. Again, similar sort of thing with rooms, but this one looks like what's a long corridor into the entrance for there. Again, we'll go over to the next one. Again, this one is very similar, but the one over here is very different. It's a bit lower down, it's a bit more flooded, so I'm not going to really bother going in there. Walk along the walls again into the main bit. Yeah, again, divided rooms, perfectly divided rooms. A long corridor. And then again, There's similar sort of like housing down there that makes you wonder what these rooms are made for. There's not really a sign around at the moment. I need to look for it just so I can get an idea of what's what here, like, because at the moment it looks like it's just foundation that's remained. Could these by here be where the command offices are, because they're very different shaped? They're overlooking this part of the barrack, or where the walls used to be for the barrack. But that could be in an office all by here for the commanders to plan out their strategies ahead of taking on the local Celtic tribes. Got this little bridge, looks like a little drainage system placed by the Romans. But that looks like the main entrance into the barracks by here. And over here could be where the walls were. Tell by the shaping of that foundation. Let's go high up and have a look. Well, I know where I am now, because that sign there tells me I'm sitting in a public toilet, so this is where they used to go poo. And here is the barracks of the 2nd Legion of Augusta in Isca, on modern day Caerleon. Yeah. It's just weird, like, seeing the different types of Welsh history. Like, I live near Caerleon in the Caerleon County. Caerleon has a Roman fort. Well, underneath all the grass they do. But then on the other side, in between Caerleon and where I live, is Penalta, which is an old disused abandoned coal mine, which is still there. They haven't got rid of the wheels and nothing because it's been listed. But seeing these different aspects of Welsh history is just crazy, and I thought after I'd done that little section at the Penalta video at Caerleon, at the Caerleon forts, I thought I'll come to Caerleon in New Year and do this. And it didn't disappoint, I'm going to say the least. So guys, that's it for today's video. If you did like it, please give it a thumbs up and support the channel by subscribing, share it, and turn on the notification bell for more exploring videos, because I do hiking, as you've seen maybe on my Penalta video if you're a returning subscriber. I do true crime and documentaries, which one is linked down below for you if you would like to watch it. I'll also link the Penalta video, Penalta part 2, just so you can see what's left of the Roman forts in Caerleon. So until next time guys, see you then.